My girlfriend told me, I love you, but I want a half breakup to explore things. I calmly asked for my credit card back. She laughed, called me just like all guys, then suddenly changed her mind. But by then, I was already gone. I'm 34, and up until recently, I thought my relationship was as solid as it could be. My girlfriend and I had been together for almost 2 years. We weren't perfect, but we laughed a lot, shared our weekends together, and made plans for the future. At least, I thought we did. Then one evening, out of nowhere, she hit me with something I'd never even heard before. We were sitting on the couch, watching some random show, when she muted the TV and said, completely straight-faced, I love you, but I think I need a half breakup. Just for a little while. I want to explore things. I had to ask her to repeat herself because it sounded like she was making it up on the spot. She explained it like she wanted to still be together, but also see what else is out there. Now, I'm not naive. For months, I'd had this nagging feeling she didn't really value me for who I was. It wasn't just her sudden coldness whenever I said no to some expensive plan, or how she always seemed to have a new must-have item every other week. It was the way she treated money, my money, like it was part of her basic rights in the relationship. I'd been covering her monthly expenses, dinners, shopping trips, salon visits, easily around $500 a month. I told myself it was just me taking care of my partner, but somewhere deep down, I knew the imbalance was there. She never once offered to split or even cover something small without me having to insist. So when she brought up this half breakup idea, my mind immediately connected the dots. She didn't want space to think. She wanted freedom without losing her financial safety net. I asked her why she suddenly felt this way. She gave vague answers about wanting to experience life and not feeling ready to commit fully. But the whole time she was talking, she didn't seem sad or conflicted. It was more like she'd rehearsed this and was expecting me to just nod along. Honestly, I sat there feeling oddly calm. I'd been giving her the benefit of the doubt for too long, and now she was basically confirming what I'd suspected. I wasn't her priority. My wallet was. I didn't argue or try to convince her to stay. I just listened until she'd said her piece. And in my head, I already knew where this was going. What she didn't know was that her timing couldn't have been worse for her. I'd already been keeping a mental ledger of how often our relationship revolved around spending, and I was just about ready to put my foot down. She thought I'd react emotionally, maybe even plead with her, but I had something else in mind. That conversation was about to take a turn she definitely didn't see coming. She had just finished explaining her half-breakup plan, a mix of vague promises and half-hearted reassurances, when I leaned back and asked the one question she didn't expect. All right, I said calmly. If we're breaking up, I'll need my credit card back. The way her head snapped toward me, you'd think I'd just spoken in another language. She blinked and said, Why? I'm still your girlfriend. I kept my voice even. No, you're saying you want to break up. Why would you still need my money if we're not together? That doesn't make sense. Her eyes narrowed. She leaned forward, her tone shifting from casual to defensive. It's not like I'm asking for everything. I just still need it for a while, until I figure things out. That line right there told me everything I needed to know. This wasn't about needing space to explore. She wanted freedom and funding. I repeated myself, slowly, so there was no confusion. If you want to break up, even a half one, the card stays with me. That's not negotiable. Her lips pressed together, and she let out this short laugh that wasn't really a laugh at all. Wow, you're just like all guys. The moment a girl wants to be independent, you pull away support. I almost laughed myself. The irony of her using independent while fighting to keep my credit card wasn't lost on me. But I didn't take the bait. I just said, independent means paying your own way. This isn't about me punishing you. It's about boundaries. She fell silent for a few seconds, clearly running through her next move. I could practically see the shift in her expression when she realized her first approach wasn't going to work. Then, she changed tactics entirely. Her voice softened, her posture relaxed, and she gave me this look she'd used plenty of times before when she wanted something. Okay, maybe I rushed this. I don't actually want to break up. I love you. Forget what I said earlier. It was like she thought she could just erase the last 10 minutes if she switched from cold to sweet. I wasn't buying it. My mind was already made up, and for the first time in a while, I felt completely clear about where I stood. But I had no idea that her next move was going to push this conversation into a whole different territory. When I told her I wasn't changing my mind, her face hardened. She crossed her arms and said, almost too casually, You know, I could make this really messy for you. I could tell people you've been harassing me. I could expose you everywhere. There it was, the bluff. The kind of threat you throw out when you're losing control. I didn't flinch. Go ahead, I said. Tell whoever you want. I've got nothing to hide. That shut her down for a moment. She looked at me, almost searching for a sign that I'd crack under the pressure. When she didn't find it, her whole demeanor shifted again. Her voice wavered. Please, don't leave me. I really do love you. No one's ever going to love you like I do. I wanted to believe there was a shred of sincerity in her voice, but I knew better. She wasn't crying because she realized what she'd lost in me. She was crying because she realized she'd lost the comfort and security my money gave her. I stood up, grabbed my wallet from the table, and said, "That's exactly the problem." She tried to follow me to the door, still talking, still bargaining, tossing out promises that sounded emptier with every word. "I'll change. We can start fresh. You'll see. I can be different." But there's no starting fresh when the trust's already gone. When I stepped outside, it felt peaceful, a quiet I hadn't felt in a long time. A week later, I heard from a mutual friend that she'd moved back in with her sister and was telling people I was cold and selfish. I didn't care. The truth was simple. She'd made her choice, and I'd made mine. She wanted a half breakup so she could keep exploring life while I kept paying for it. What she got instead was a full breakup and a hard stop to the free ride. I don't regret it for a second.